From Capitol Hill with extraordinary measures taken by the Republicans. With me now to talk more about this is Congressman Jim Jordan, the Republican from Ohio who serves on the House Judiciary Committee. Welcome, sir. So what do you make of what Manu just reported?
Well, I mean, look, I think in large sense the president should be given wide latitude when he nominates someone for a position. And if the Democrats aren't going to even show up for committee, I don't know that the Republicans had a whole lot of options left to do. So this seems appropriate for me to do this. What's frustrating is most Americans are tired of these games. They just want us to come here and do what we told them we were going to do and accomplish the things that they sent us here to accomplish.
And I understand where you're going with that, but here's the thing. Critics of Jeff Sessions, they're afraid he will not challenge President Trump on constitutional issues because he's such a Trump ally, right? And I know you're going to disagree with that, but can you reach out to those critics and assure them the checks and balances in place in this country will stand?
Yeah, even former Vice President Joe Biden said Jeff Sessions should, as long as he takes the oath to uphold the law, he should be confirmed, again, given that latitude to the Commander-in-Chief. Never forget what we saw in the last Justice Department. We saw the subject of the investigation's husband get to meet with the Attorney General just days before the subject of the investigation was going to be interviewed by the FBI. So to say that somehow Jeff Sessions, who is more political than what we had before, are going to be too political to do his job, I think is laughable when you think about what we just went through the last 8 years with Attorney General Holder and Attorney General Lynch.
I will say the country, at least half of it, maybe a little more than half, people are quite anxious about everything this new president is doing because things are moving so very fast. So why the hurry? Why not take the time? Why not allow Democrats to ask their questions and then move on that way? Wouldn't that settle down that half of the country who is adamantly opposed to everything Mr. Trump does at the moment?
No one's opposed to debate and dialogue and hearings.
Well, yes, they are, because the Republicans pushed it through without any debate, right? Just to get Jeff Sessions confirmed.
What Manu just reported, only after the Democrats wouldn't even show up to committee to have the debate and have the vote. So my understanding is the confirmations for these nominees are taking a lot longer than normally takes place when you have a new president come in and he sends his nominations up to the Senate for confirmation. So we've only got a handful, I think 5 nominees who've actually been confirmed thus far. So when the president has to wait that long for the rest of them, that hurts the ability to get the things done that the voters sent us here to do.
Well, here's the thing. President Trump's inner circle did not inform you a travel ban was in the works, correct? I mean, you serve the people of Ohio. Shouldn't they, through you, be part of such momentous decisions?
Well, no one said that you know, tactically, strategically, there could have been some things done a little differently on the rollout of this. But I do think it's consistent with the law, and I do think it's consistent with what we passed last year.
But wouldn't you have liked to know this was happening? Wouldn't you have liked to know this was happening as a lawmaker who is responsible for the people of the state of Ohio?
I mean, that would have been fine, but I'm not disagreeing with the policy itself. I think it's a good policy, sound policy, consistent with the law, and frankly, as I said, consistent with what we did a year ago when 47 Democrats voted with all the Republicans to pass legislation to do just what this executive order does.
It only added to the anxiety already present in the country. So wouldn't it have been better had the Trump inner circle worked with members of Congress like yourself so that you would know how to explain it to your constituents?
Look, hindsight's wonderful. You can Monday morning quarterback these things. Maybe it would have been, probably it would have been, but the fact is this is a new administration. They're in their first few weeks. Sometimes you're going to have these kind of situations take place. The underlying policy is what's important.
So it's no big deal?
The legality of the underlying policy. Well, of course,
four states have filed lawsuits. Apple may file a lawsuit over this travel ban, and we're still arguing about what to call it, by the way. Is it a ban? Is it not a ban? What exactly is it? There is still confusion.
Yeah, it's a policy consistent with the policy we passed over a year ago that 47 Democrats in the House of Representatives supported. Unfortunately, President Obama said he would veto it, but it's consistent with that, and it's just a temporary pause on making sure we can thoroughly vet people before they get here. Remember, ISIS said they're actively trying to exploit this law to get bad guys in this country.
Honestly, I get that part. I'm just saying that wouldn't you rather the president confer with lawmakers who represent the represent people? Right. That's
We
all.
prefer consistency. And how about when the Cuban Adjustment Act at the end of the Obama administration? Where was the outrage from the press? Where was there outrage from the left and from the Democrat Party when the president unilaterally changed that policy from people fleeing a dictator to come here?
Well,
we didn't see it there, but now we see it.
President Obama is no longer president.
With Mr. Trump.
All right, I'm going to have to interrupt you, Congressman, and I apologize. Senator Orrin Hatch is holding an impromptu press conference. I would suspect, because in the light of what just happened, let's listen.
And